And we're back. Welcome. Chance here with the virtual Y for Friday's chair yoga practice. Oh, what a great time to be alive, to use our bodies, to heal our bodies, and to just understand how many things are going right. Even though, of course, we might perceive some things going wrong as well. Oh, my neck is stiff, my shoulders are sore, my knees don't move the way they used to. Sure, all of those things can be true. But even though we might have some ailments, we might be not at 100%, there is still an abundance of things going right for us to even exist. All of your systems working. Your ability to perceive, to feel, all types of things going right that we just take for granted and overlook. So if there's anything you take away from this practice, it's about perspective. It is much easier to focus on what's going wrong, and it takes a little more practice to recognize what's going right. But what I've learned through the practice of mindfulness, meditation, and yoga is that whatever you appreciate appreciates. Wherever you pay your attention, it becomes more valuable. So let's use this time to assume that most of our body is the way it should be. And we're going to just expand everything that's going right to help us address the things that we might perceive as going wrong. Stiffness, soreness, illness, all of those things are very real, a very real part of being human. And that's the reason why this practice of yoga has been around for thousands of years. It's because there are simple things that we can do for ourselves to help ourselves help ourselves. Okay? So let's get right into it. We'll start seated. Find a chair. Hopefully your feet can touch the ground from this chair. If not, please place a pillow or a folded blanket or something so you have some support underneath your feet. Now we're going to sit up tall and just start to notice. Oh yes, where's my spine? There it is. Try to roll your tailbone forward a little bit to create some contact with your tailbone to the chair. Notice your distribution of weight from left to right. So maybe sway a little bit so you feel a nice center point where there's an equal distribution of weight on your left and right side of your seat. As we're rolling that tailbone under, we also want to reach up through the low back. Notice if there's any stiffness, resistance, or tightness, and you don't have to push too hard against that. Just go to the point where you know it's there. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Reach up tall through the crown of your head and tuck your chin slightly. We'll take some big breaths in here. All the way in through your nose, let your breath come down to the bottom of your belly. And on your exhales, just keep that spine long even as your lungs deflate. All the way in and all the way out. We're going to use the breath as a massage from the inside out, giving ourselves that massage that no one else can give us. We're using these muscles, the diaphragm. We're using the lungs to push and press and stretch the muscles between the ribs. We're also using the spinal muscles to sit up tall. Now, as we strengthen these things, we might notice where we've neglected them. That might arise in discomfort, soreness, stiffness. All of those things are okay because they're revealing where we could use more work, more awareness. Our body needs to be strengthened to support itself. And honestly, most of our lifestyles do not support our own body. We spend a lot of time disembodied, either working on screens or standing still for long periods of time, or sitting still rather for long periods of time. And all of those things are not giving our body what it needs. Our body is built to work. Our body is built to hold itself upward and in alignment, to allow our systems to work with the least amount of resistance. That's what we're working on. So you don't have to do too much. All you have to do is keep your spine long and keep breathing larger than you would if you were unconscious of your body. And simply by doing that, you're going to learn about your body. You're going to find those spaces. You're going to nourish those spaces and strengthen the supporting muscles. Next, we're going to check in on the bandhas. The bandhas are your internal locks. The first is your pelvic floor. Like a Kegel lift, pull up and in on the soft tissue of the bottom and feel if those muscles feel weak or tight or restricted. And as you pull up and in on your pelvic floor, pulling up from the bottom and into your pelvic cavity, we're going to release as well, let go of those muscles and see what shifts. So we're using these muscles like an internal massage as well, in coordination with the lungs growing and deflating. We're going to keep that big breath going this entire practice, all the way in and all the way out. Try lifting your pelvic floor when you breathe in and gently releasing it as you breathe out. You might start to notice tightness, stiffness, stuff shifting around in your body and along your spine. It's exactly what we want. Making movement where there is only stagnation before, bringing fluidity back to where there is only rigidity. The next lock that we'll talk about is the upward flying lock, the Uddiyana Bandha. We lift this by drawing in on the belly button and scooping upward. It's like we're trying to suck our belly in all the way and pull it up under our rib cage. This activates the transversus, which is a corset-shaped group of muscles around your lower abdomen. And when you pull in there, it supports your abdominal organs and supports your spine. If you pull in on that belly button deep enough, you're also going to feel some activation in your spine. That's a group of muscles called the multifidi that support the spine and strengthen. This stuff is very powerful. These are some important muscles to exercise that otherwise just don't get exercised. So keep these concepts in mind, the breath, the bandhas, as we begin moving. On your inhales, let's sweep the arms overhead slowly with grace. Notice your shoulders, your lungs, your ribs. And on your exhales, let's let the arms go lower, slowly. Let the shoulders relax, but notice where there's work. Inhales, we sweep the arms high. Exhales, we lower the arms. Now you want to breathe slow, move slow. What we're looking for is the space between the spaces we already know. So if we can feel the A and the B, our fingertips, our shoulders, our lungs, let's feel everything in between those spaces. If we know our arms are all the way up on the inhales, and then all the way down on the exhales, let's focus on the spaces in between. What do we feel as our arms are moving in this snow angel type shape? What is revealed through the breath? What is released from the spine? And what parts of your body do you notice stiffness that is changing slowly but surely, becoming a little less stiff? Whew, last one here. Good. Next, we're going to start leaning forward to get deeper in to the length of our spine. Press the soles of the feet into the ground. Roll that tailbone under. Inhale, broaden the chest. Relax your shoulders. On your inhale, sweep your arms high. And on your exhale, fold forward. Lean your heart towards your knees. Tuck your chin. On your inhale, lengthen the spine for a halfway lift. Long spine, Chest parallel to the ground, shoulders drawing away from the ears. Tuck the chin. Big breath in. Big breath out. Rounding the spine. Tuck the chin. Your inhale, slowly come all the way up, feeling the spine stack. Noticing wherever there's stiffness or soreness. You don't need to push too hard into that pain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, fold forward, rounding the spine. Ooh. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way high, relaxing the shoulders. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one of this series. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a couple very deep breaths. Try to expand the lungs all the way down into your belly and all the way up to your collarbones. Notice how your spine is shifted through these simple movements as we move into the hips. We'll bring that right foot out to the right. Point the toes on the right foot directly out to your right side. Make sure that right knee is stacked right above the right ankle. And straighten your left leg out as far as you can to the left. Traction your feet into the ground. Try to keep the sole of that left foot pressed onto the ground. Long through the low back, open the arms wide. Place the chin right above that right shoulder. Notice the length of your spine from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Notice how wide your arms can reach. Notice what muscles are related, and bring your attention back to your breath. What does each breath reveal about your limitations, about your capabilities? We don't want to find any extreme discomfort, so adjust so it's not entirely uncomfortable, but just the presence of a little comfortable amount of discomfort. And on your exhale, take this modified extended side angle. You can bring your elbow to that right knee. Rotate your chest so it's open toward the sky. Look up toward that upper hand. Maybe even point your chin towards it. Take a couple deep breaths, noticing what you find there. Check in on those bandhas. Big deep breaths. On your inhale, come back up to warrior two. Good. Let's walk the feet back to center. We're going to set up the second side. Take that left foot, point the toes on the left foot directly out to the left. Bring that right foot out to the right. Try to press the sole of the right foot down to the ground. Now everybody's pose is going to look different because every body is different. It's just a culmination of what we've done with our body up until this point. So if your feet are a little closer together, that's where the edge of your comfort zone is. That's fine. If you can reach your legs further apart and still not be overly uncomfortable, that's fine as well. But we want to create a mellow, a patient relationship with our body where we use these stretches to explore, not to punish ourselves, not to get this no pain, no gain attitude. It is simply finding your comfortable edge. Reach both arms wide, traction your feet into the ground, lengthen your low back, chin right above that left shoulder. Keep reaching the arms wide. Feel these connections, these relationships, and breathe deeply. Remember, we're strengthening the muscles that just don't get enough attention. And by doing so, the muscles support our systems, and our body is more equipped to repair itself and also to communicate to our attention what we need more of. Couple more big breaths here. Notice all these intersections in the body and what they reveal. On your next exhale, bring your left elbow to the left knee. Bring that right arm overhead. Look up toward the hand. Roll the shoulders open. Take some big breaths. Adjust my mic. Long spine. Listen to your body. Pull in on those bandhas, the pelvic floor, the belly button. And come all the way back up to Warrior Two. Coming back to center, walk your feet in. You might notice a lot has shifted. Once again, we're turning rigidity into fluidity. We're turning stiffness into softness. We're creating unawareness into awareness. Shifting. Observe it happening. It feels very obvious when we find that edge of our comfort zone. It feels very obvious when we work muscles that we've forgotten about or we didn't even know we had. And that's part of the practice, is becoming aware of this vast world within your body that we commonly overlook because we're too stuck up here, when we can distribute that attention everywhere. All right, we're going to work on the outer hips now. We've got a good strengthening and stretching of the inner thighs and the low back, the sacrum, that last series. We're going to get those outer thighs. Bring the right ankle across the left knee. You can flex that right foot, pointing the toes back toward the shin a bit. You can push a little pressure into your right elbow with your right hand. Sit up tall, relax your shoulders. And on your exhale, you're going to lower the heart toward the shin. On your inhale, very gently, slowly come up, long spine. And on your exhale, lower your heart toward your shin. Inhales, come up. Exhales, lean forward. Couple more dynamic movement breaths here. On this next exhale, we're going to remain with our heart lowered toward the shin. Take 3 full breaths here. Keep the spine long. Big full breaths without straining. Just observing in gratitude. Patience. On your next inhale, we're going to come up. Take the second side. Cross that left ankle over the right knee. You can flex the toes on the left foot back toward the shin for more traction. You can press a little pressure into the left hand and the left hand into the left knee. Sit up tall, relax your shoulders, broaden your chest. And exhale, gently lower your heart towards your knee. Big breaths. Inhale, you can come up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down. And through this movement, we're going to really reconnect spaces that don't get enough attention. I have to get my mic in the right place. Lots going on. Lots of variables with this hair. Variables. Your next inhale will come up. Uncross that leg. Take a little organic movement, shifting your hips around. Big breath. And we'll take a twist here. Bring your left hand to your right knee. Bring your right hand to the right side of your chair. Or if you can, reach the back of the chair with that right hand. Make sure your knees are still pointed forward. Make sure you're grounding down through both sides of your seat, particularly that left side of the seat. Point your chin over that right shoulder. And deepen your breath. As you breathe all the way in, notice where it might be challenging. Notice where it's easy. Gratitude for all the things your body can do. And also gratitude for all the things your body can't do. Because it's our limitations that we go to learn about ourselves. To watch ourselves transform. To grow deeper connections. To grow greater flexibility, strength, and overall ability. Come back to center. Take the second side by bringing the right hand to the left knee, left hand to the left side of the chair, or to the back of the chair if you can. Make sure your knees are pointing forward. Ground down to that right side of the seat. Chin right above that left shoulder. Big breaths. Every inhale, see where you can find more space. Every exhale, soften that space that you found. Your inhale, come back to center. And just take a couple breaths, sitting up tall, really observing the length of your spine, shoulders away from the ears, the fullness of your breath. Whatever parts of your body feel as though they're still working, they've been revealed. Where can you soften? Connect to this deep, infinite universe within your body frequently. Maybe it's just for a few breaths at a time throughout the day. Maybe it's a practice of 20, 30 minutes. Maybe you do that many times a day. In my opinion, there's really no limit of too much time connecting to your body. We already know how often we are ignoring our body, overlooking our body, forgetting about our body. So there's really no limit for how much you can go the opposite way, how much attention you can pay to your posture, to your breath, to your bandhas. And you'll see over time, your body becomes a new universe to inhabit, full of infinite possibility. So thanks for joining me. Namaste, everyone. I'll see you again next week. Take care.